Ladies and gents, welcome back to Apex Investor for this day, Thursday, August the 22nd. We're going to begin with a news article from Barron's via Microsoft titled, Uber will let you hail a driverless car from GM's Cruise next year. Ride-hailing app Uber is expanding its partnerships with self-driving car companies, announcing Thursday that customers will have the option to ride in a Cruise autonomous vehicle starting in 2025. It's had a similar offering with rival Waymo in Phoenix last year. Uber riders who select a Cruise autonomous vehicle on a qualifying ride will get to ride in a Chevy Bolt-based driverless car. So Cruise is a subsidiary of GM. They lost around $3.5 billion last year, and they temporarily halted their operations as a result. And then they relaunched in 3 cities this spring. They're currently supervising how the testing is going, but they are not offering rides to the public there. So that's interesting that they decided to get back on board with that and try to make a comeback. The autonomous taxi company halted operations last fall following an incident in which one of its cars struck and dragged a San Francisco pedestrian who had first been hit by another vehicle. So that is one incident. It's still bad. I'm not saying that is a really bad incident. While Cruise now has cars back on public roads with a safety driver behind the wheel in other states, California has not reinstated its driverless permits. The company aims to restart commercial rides at the end of this year. We believe Uber can play an important role in helping to safely and reliably introduce autonomous technology to consumers in cities around the world. This is the rival Waymo, which is owned by Alphabet or Google, essentially, announced earlier this week that it had surpassed 100,000 paid trips a week, twice what it had in May. In addition to Phoenix, it also operates in San Francisco and Los Angeles. Waymo does not have a stock, but here's their other rival. You may know it. Tesla was set to unveil its own robo-taxi earlier this month, but pushed the launch back to early October. The US robotaxi market could generate as much as $500 billion annually by 2040. So the reason I bring this up is because I think this might be the next big industry is robotaxis, to be honest. We have Tesla in there. Obviously, they're public. Waymo, they're not public. And then we have Uber. But would Tesla be functioning under Uber? Remains to be seen. I'm not sure if Waymo's a separate robo-taxi service from Uber. And then you have Cruise as well. But it seems that the Cruise program is partnered with Uber. So GM via Cruise is operating under Uber, and then you have Tesla. I don't know if they're going to run their own separate proprietary robo-taxi business, or whether they will operate under a bigger company, or not really bigger company, but a more established company such as Uber, or was Waymo a separate one? I'm not sure. So let me research Waymo. Let's just do that right now. Okay, so it says here Waymo said it's now giving more than 100,000 paid robotaxi rides every week across its 3 main commercial markets in LA, San Fran, and Phoenix. That is double the figure it shared publicly a few months ago. One other item worth noting in my story, Waymo has 778 robotaxis under its deployment permit in the state, according to a Freedom of Information Act request from the California Department of Revenue. It's unclear if some of these vehicles are operating in Phoenix. Okay, so I just installed a pop blocker just because the tisses and the those sounds were really annoying me on the monitor here. So another Waymo news. Remember the honking problem that software engineer Sophia Tung captured via a live stream of the parking lot where Waymo robotaxis come and go? Well, it was fixed and then it popped again, but now Waymo says it has been fixed for good. Waymo Director of Product and Operations Vishay Nihalani came onto Tung's live stream and answered questions about the robotaxis and the honking, among other things. I'll share some tidbits in next week's issue. Okay. Electric vehicles, charging, and batteries. All right, there's talking about Gogoro, Rivian, Uber, Volkswagen. We can probably see that connecting with QuantumScape, to be honest. With their minivan, okay. 2025 ID Buzz. Future of flight. Okay, I think that's it. So it does seem that Waymo is a separate company. It's not the same as Uber. But Waymo doesn't have their own stock. That's my only squibble. There's no way to invest in Waymo, but they are owned by Google, by Alphabet. So that's the only way you could do it. Investing in them by proxy. So Waymo's leading they're leading the charge. They're the leader of the industry, in my opinion. I don't see anyone else getting close. Uber is trying to get a piece of that pie from Waymo. Okay, so that's all for that news. I'm going to look at the stocks today, beginning with Rich Tech. I was going to say Robotech. That's an anime. Rich Tech Robotics. See what happened today. Well, initially there was a scare this morning around, I think, noon, if I'm not mistaken. So the stock did drop, but to be frank, the whole market pretty much dropped at the same time. It wasn't an isolated event, only focusing on Rich Tech. It wasn't targeted, in my opinion. So we see it was driven down to 106. It opened at 131, went down to 106. So a lot of people got a great deal there, whoever bought in there, 106, 110. And then just surged right back up to 130, 133. And finished the day 125, only down a very minuscule 3%. Excuse me. Okay, so that's all for Rich Tech in terms of the chart action. I'm going to look at two stocks that added to my portfolio in terms of my watch list. Not that I bought these stocks yet, because this is still far from my entry point. We have Zoom, who was up 13% today. And look at this chart. I remember Zoom used to be at $300, $500, I think. Yeah, here it is. It was up at $559, October 2020. Long are those days. Those days are long gone. Excuse me. And I love this chart though. Let's look at the 6 month first. The 1 month and the 6 month. Where is support in the 6 month? $55. Resistance is 70. The 1 year gives us a better picture. 55. Yep. Okay, that's below support. So the regular support in the last year has been 60. It's been 60. That's been the base. 59.60. And their ceiling, the resistance, has been 70. 73 to be exact, but let's put 70 just to be safe. And so this is going to be is going to head down from 68, 70, and even more recently 64. 60 plus from 60. Okay, so between 60 to 70. So it's within $10. So pretty interesting play there. It's not trading as frequently as I would like in terms of the peaks and valleys here. 70 in March, and then all the way down to 55 in August. Yeah, that's a long time to hold. But that's an interesting play. People still use Zoom. I use Zoom personally, but I don't. It might go back up if there's another kind of lockdown situation, but for now, I would say it's a buy at 50. I'd put my entry point at 50. In all honesty, yeah, 50. I would wait for the market to crash and then just wait for this to go even lower. Yeah, this chart is just crazy. I'd wait for 50, 55 and below. Yeah, and then sell it at 70 plus. All right, that's all for that one. Peloton was up as well, 35%. My goodness, what a jump. It was up $1.19 from the previous close, 336, and the days range 372 to 475. 52 week range 270 to $7, and the volume was massive, 10 times the average, 129 million. Market cap over $1 billion, 1.67 or 1.68. And let's make sense of this chart. Okay, what's support? Is it 280, $3, something like that? Looks like $3 is support, so it did reach below $3. This is a much better play than we just looked at Zoom. Looking at the 1 month, yeah. The 6 month once again, and then looking for the resistance level, about 450-ish. Yeah, it's 450, so this is going to go down. It's not going to stay up for too long. But I like this. It's a good swing trade. Buy it at 3, sell at 5, 450. So buy at 3, sell at 450, maybe, yeah, 450. Or you can just buy at 3, sell at 4, if you want to be really safe about that. But that's a good play, because you're going up 33% no matter what if you're buying at 3. You just have to wait for the dips. And Peloton's been around how many years now? Since 2019? Since 2019, look at where it was before. So long gone are these days, but I'm not saying it's a steal at this price, but we'll see what'll happen with this. This is an interesting stock in terms of the price action here. I like the waves. Okay, what do they even do? Isn't Peloton... Don't they make bikes or something? Okay, Peloton bike, yeah. So they make fitness equipment. It's interesting how the stock is so high for a company that makes bikes, and their target is 4.68. So they're pretty much at their target. Okay, that's all for that one. Now I'm going to browse. It's going to be dangerous, but I'm going to browse Stocktwits without even screening it. So I'm going to do that right now. Let's screen it right now. So we're just looking through. This is kind of like where you have a meme review with PewDiePie. He'll look at the Reddit or whatever, the subreddit. And so I'm looking at this pretty much in real time. All this is pre-recorded. You'll be watching this after the fact. So automation news. Okay, what do we have here? It's interesting to sift through all this. Okay, 7 new posts. Let's look at the 7 new posts. I put in a buy order at 110, around 110. I feel like it might get shorted again to $1.10. That's looking like really solid support right now. Okay, the new robot is not the same one that was at CES. So that's the Scorpion. So I have a big question as well. I'm going to ask right now, what is Bear Brew? Is Bear Brew a new robot? Or a Brew Bear? Sorry, Brew Bear. What is Brew Bear? Is Brew Bear is that an app or is that a robot? Because if it's a new robot, that's going to be very interesting. Okay, someone is saying they've introduced lots of robots before without this level of suspense. So people are really waiting for September 14 or 20. Anyway, it's in September. The company is so secretive about rolling out a new robot. Okay, I'm just going to do this for another 5 minutes until we see something big here. Maybe I'll just pause for a moment. Okay, so this is the teaser right here. I think it's Scorpion, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a Scorpion robot. It says we can't reveal much. Keep your eyes peeled. It's taking a while to load. Oh, there it is. Okay, so September 20th is the date, and I'm pretty sure that's the Scorpion, but if it's not, okay, let's see. Let's see what happens September 20. Okay, I don't really see much going on here. Okay, we're recording, right? It needs to break that August 20 high of $1.66 to take off. Yeah, I agree with that. That's looking like the ceiling right now. Once it breaks that 150, 160 resistance, we're going to see a breakout to $2. And then it's got another ceiling with $2. I think that's a more solid ceiling. That's going to be harder to break compared to the 150, 160. Okay, here's our first interesting post. It says RR is also switching their business model from selling the robots for an upfront cost to a RaaS model, robot as a service. This basically helps them deploy more robots to customers, as the upfront cost is no longer a big hurdle for businesses that want to deploy these robots. You will see the revenues ramp up and take that hockey stick shape. We'll see. Okay, this user is spamming the board, but this is an interesting possibility. No shares are available to short. Wow, I think we're getting closer to that. We're getting closer to that scenario. So that's going to only make the stock price rise. Okay, so it seems there are two news events we're waiting for. The September 20th news, that announcement, and then there's a separate one being referred to on Twitter. Two separate news events. Okay, I'm going to pause again. Just a lot of theories. Okay. Okay, I thought I paused the recording. It's still going. I'm going to pause again. Okay, we finally have some information, some useful information from Stocktwits. So this first image says RR manufactures robotic solutions for, I'll just call it R2 from now on. R2. R2 manufactures robotic solutions for several service industries, including the hospitality and healthcare sectors. The company offers a suite of robots designed for deliveries, cleaning, serving customers, and simple repetitive tasks like making coffee or frying food. So the world's first total automation provider in food tech. We have kitchen. All right, I see Meso Robotics. Interesting. Competitive landscape. floor cleaners, barista plus bartender, and then you have service busing. That's like what they do with Mercedes-Benz. So that's a great post. So you have these 4 areas in which their robotics are going to be beneficial, and you're going to see a lot of revenue from all 4 of these streams, from kitchen, culinary. I should say that's like is that commercial kitchens or industrial or consumer kitchens? I'm not sure. Floor cleaners, barista, bartenders, and service busing again, like in a, I was going to say a car dealership or a workshop. R2 currently operates in 80 cities, serving more than 100 customers across the US. By the end of 2025, the company aims to cover more than 200 cities in 50 states and 1,000 storefronts. It has worked with brands like Golden Corral, IHOP, Mayo Clinic, Panda Express, and more. Okay, I was not aware of those partnerships. I'm going to take that with a grain of salt. I've never heard of that, so they might just be making this up. The only ones we've heard of are Major League Baseball, Walmart via Ghost Kitchens, and Mercedes-Benz via a specific location. Here's another picture somebody's provided. That is such a real-world picture. Not even that's so far from a doctored, AP kind of photo. This looks very raw. I like that. I like the just the way. So it is there. It's in the Walmart, whichever Walmart that is. Okay, and one more image here. Shortable shares. So I'm not sure if this is Rich Tech Robotics. I can't really see the ticker symbol, but it looks like the quantity available, if this is Rich Tech, is getting lower, because the post was saying there are no more shorts to share. Very few. They're getting few and far between. So we'll see how that plays out. We should see some action in the weeks coming, the weeks ahead. It's going to be interesting how tomorrow develops, since Friday tends to be a bloodbath. It can go up or down, like severely high or severely low, but we'll see. And last of all, I want to look at HOLO and see what's going on with this, because they're posting about this, they're kind of spamming the Rich Tech board regarding HOLO, and that looks like it's already high. It's far from the 28-cent price. Okay, so I'm going to do my DD on HOLO and just see, sorry about that, see if there's any potential here. So MicroCloud Hologram produces holographic technology services. So what would that be used for? LiDAR? Okay, so they're doing LiDAR. That has to do with car automated vehicles. And their market cap is 56 million. No price target. Volume 162 million from an average of 28 million. Days range 52 cents to 70. 52-week range 28 cents to $113. Let's try to make sense of this chart. Yeah, this is out of reach. The ship has sailed. This ship has sailed, so I wouldn't buy this. Buy at 30 cents and lower. Resistance is looking like, what is that? Right now, resistance is now. Unless it picks up a big deal or big partnership or big news. I don't see this continuing to go up. I think it's going to be shorted. Appears to be shorted. I'm curious as to the short interest and how much is it being shorted, because if we look at the last year, went from $1.50, went all the way up to $66. That's insane. How that is such a pump and dump. $21 went up to 21. This might explode. Yeah, actually has potential. And right now it's at 69 cents. But that happened February 2024. So let's look at the last 5 years. Oh, wow, this is such a pump and dump. Wow. $21 and then went all the way up to 117, then went up to 90. So it's having these big explosions, these short squeezes from $22 all the way up to 112, and then from 17 all the way up to 93, and then from 5, let's say $2 to $66. So if we're looking at this trend, 112, 100, and 66, we're probably going to expect something like a $30 to $40 squeeze. And how regularly is this? This is January 23. This one is, 8 months later? And then this one is about a year later. Is that right? Okay, 3 months. No, that's only 5 months later. So we should expect a squeeze in the next year, before February of 2025. There should be a squeeze for this. If this is a pattern, it looks like a pattern. We already have 3 confirmations. That is quite interesting. Okay, so this might be a massive play ahead, because it was at $1.50. Yeah, this actually might squeeze. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. So this is a good play, based on the 3 confirmations of 3 previous squeezes. I don't know why I did that, but it did, according to this chart anyway. So 170, 145. Okay, keeps getting lower. Okay, this is not out of range. This is a good play. But 30 cents was a steal. My goodness. Okay, 30 cents, 40, 45, and then 70. Man, okay, this might squeeze immensely. So this is an interesting play. If you just have spare change, you want to buy, I don't know, 100 shares or 1,000 shares, just buy a bunch of shares. And once it squeezes, you're going to have to set your price target really within a realistic time frame. You're going to have to put up your notifications, set your notifications. And once that notification goes off, that's when you sell. Because look at this spike. Okay, look at this spike here. 28 and then 66. And then you have this one, 100. So I would set it to at least 30. I think it's going to 30. Because if you look at this little jump, and then it got down to 17, and then it just opened up massively at 66. I think this is going to $30. So if I do the math right now, and and you buy this at 70 cents, let's just say 1,000 shares at 70 cents. How much is that? That's $700. Okay, so $700. You're taking $700, and then it goes up to, let's just say 20, just to be conservative. And you're turning it to $20,000. So you're making a profit of $19,000. That's just astronomical. So yeah, this is a great play. I think I will probably buy into this. I don't know how many shares I'll buy, but this is an interesting play just to kind of experiment here. Look at the after hours. It's moving just a little bit, but it really jumped up today. That's for sure. It's been jumping up the last week. 30 cents, and then yeah, I can see that it's going somewhere. I've never seen a stock with 3 short squeezes within what, 3 years time? 2022, 2023. Technically, it's I guess it's 2 years time. It's had 3 squeezes. That is crazy. I never even heard of this stock, or maybe I did, just kind of ignored it. Okay, you know what? It's worth going on the Rich Tech, or not Rich Tech, the Hologram, MicroCloud holograms. It's worth going. Just add that to my list. It's worth going to their Stocktwits. Okay, so here's Stocktwits HOLO. See what people are writing about this. Actually, I should probably go to Popular. Let's go look at Popular first. Once we hit $8, I will officially be a millionaire for the first time. And I had a good close yesterday. 80 cents test coming, and then $1 plus. 1 million shares borrowed. The market is closed. There will be a short attack in the early morning. The goal will be to freak everyone out and sell. Then they'll buy back. Then the shorts can buy back what they need to cover their borrowed shares. Now over 7 million borrowed just this week. Do not sell. This looks like the next GameStop AMC situation. Yeah, this is really interesting. And this is better than GameStop and AMC, because GameStop and AMC only went up, I think, twice. This went up 3 times. Let me just look at GameStop chart history here. Yeah, it only went up 1 time. And there was a sustained squeeze pretty much. And then it went up a second time only recently. So this one has gone through 3 within 2 years. I don't think it'll go to 100, but in all honesty, I think people should, retail investors should actually buy. I think they should buy this stock, buy as many as they can, and then just hold them to the moon. Okay, hold them to the moon and sell them at various prices, maybe some at 20, some at 30, and then some at 60. And if it goes to 100, then you're going to have lots of millionaires practically overnight. So that is really interesting. That was a great price at 30 cents. Oh my goodness, just only a week ago. So I'm a believer. I'm a believer in the patterns, not so much what they do. Although LiDAR is a interesting field and relates to autonomous vehicles. And like I said at the beginning of the video, at the opening of the video, I feel like this is the next big thing. So regardless of the squeeze, I think there's still good business fundamentals in terms of just where they are in the industry, and the price history is looking great. So yeah, HOLO is a certified pick, even at this price. Because if you can get this sub $1, which it is right now, as early tomorrow morning at 9:30, right at the opening, you're going to see a bloodbath. People will be buying this stock. Yeah, they might short it, but even at that price, 70 cents, and they try to short that to, let's say, 50, it's still going to explode to whatever it is. Just buy your ticket to the moon, basically. Buy your ticket to the short squeeze, because I think it's going to happen. Can lightning strike twice? Well, it struck 3 times in this for this stock, HOLO. It's only a matter of time before it squeezes again. It's kind of like an OVO, kind of like Beyond Meat, kind of like QuantumScape. They have these periods of time where it just explodes for no reason, and the same thing with a Kodak as well. So HOLO looks like one of those stocks, but it's got a lot more squeeze potential because it's been shorted severely shorted. Look at the last 6 months here. This has been shorted incredibly. They're really shorting it to 0, but people are just catching on regarding the stock. Their word of mouth is spreading. So this could go very well to, I'm going to say, at least 20 to 30. So how greedy are you, right? Like that's the question. Okay, that's all for this video. Thanks for checking in with us, and see you tomorrow. It's going to be a very interesting day at the last day of the trading week. So God bless you all, and God bless your investments.